Hey everyone, for today's lesson we're going to be looking at ballad poetry, classic narrative poetry. So, poetry that is timeless and universal. Poetry can be a short verse written for a moment in time or for a particular purpose. This type of poetry may not live beyond the moment. Poetry that stands the test of time is timeless. It has no generational boundaries because the story or the message is understood, appreciated, and most of all felt by people of all ages. Poetry that appeals to people of different cultures is universal. It has no geographical boundaries and its story is understood, appreciated, and felt by people regardless of their cultural background or location. Narrative poetry. Narrative poetry is often universal and timeless because it tells the story of the human experience that people appreciate and relate to. An epic. Epic. Sometimes people refer to epic as in, wow, that was so cool and epic. But epic is actually a long narrative poem that tells of a hero's deeds. Homer's Iliad is an example of epic poetry. There's lots of epics out there like Lord of the Rings or Avengers, movies like that. They're considered epics. All right, the ballad. The ballad is a poem that tells a story, usually, but not always, in 4-line stanzas called quatrains. Ballads are often set to music. A ballad is a poem that tells a story, usually, but not always, in 4-line stanzas called quatrains. The ballad form is enormously diverse, and poems in this form may have any one of hundreds of different rhyme schemes and meters. Nearly every culture on earth produces ballads, often in the form of epic poems relating to the culture's mythology. However, the word ballad typically refers to the relatively short lyrical poems produced by European poets starting around the 13th century. Waltzing Matilda, Australia's bush ballad. Listen to the song of Waltzing Matilda. Did you already know what the terms mean? What is the story about? So the song Waltzing Matilda is a classic Australian song, and I'll play it for you here.
There once was a jolly swag camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boy, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up got the swaggy and grabbed him with glee, and he sang as he stowed that jumbuck in his tucker bag, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he stowed that jumbuck in his tucker bag, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Down came the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up came the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Who's the jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Who's the jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up got the swaggy and jumped into the billabong. "You'll never catch me alive," said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong.
So, for your tasks for today, task number 1, define epic poetry and ballad and write the definitions in your notebook. Copy the definitions here as part of your submission. Task number 2, identify a modern ballad, 20th or 21st century. There are many to choose from, for example, Australian ballads or modern music ballads. Give the title, the author, and a short summary of the story of the ballad. You may also copy the words of your ballad in your submission. All right, thanks guys.